Da, și am făcut exact ce am zis, am pus pe pauză live-ul pentru că nu se poate ține live-ul și toate informațiile datorită pauzelor între filmulețe. Dar să continuăm cu God of War, care știm că a fost anunțat și să vedem ce avem de aflat despre el.
I'd be shocked if that happens. It seems like there's a lot going on under the hood over here, but that would be great news.
Yeah, this looks awesome to me. It looks so much more heartfelt than anything else I've seen from God of War, and there's definitely a weird trend with Sony games having a kind of single father figure that leads the game, but I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah,
it's sweet.
I wonder what that stems from specifically at Sony.
I think Shuhei Yoshida has a lot of issues that he's working through.
Siguranță va fi un joc foarte reușit.
Kids and they kind of grow up from being these like angry like heavy metal dude bros who are like let's fight something to being like let's also take care of something. And
it all started with Crash Bandicoot, who had a single father.
Right. Yeah. He had some weird stuff going on.
From a broken home.
I'm really excited to see what this game does to set it apart from so many other games.
Right. At a glance, isn't this Horizon?
Is it Horizon? Is it The Witcher? Like it looks like so many other games we've been playing recently, and that's not bad. But I want to see what it does that really just kind of sets it aside.
I mean, to totally counter that, I've always loved God of War combat. I love how fast it is. I love racking up insane combos, and that's the thing that I would like to see, but I can't imagine how it fits in this.
Yeah, I agree. I hope that the sort of minute-to-minute stuff is as fun as it is to take on a big boss. I really liked Horizon, like just hunting through like a field and then turning the corner and taking down a giant T-Rex. And I hope that fighting gods in this game are just as fun as it is to fight, I don't know, an elk.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Yeah, I feel like it still has some trick up its sleeve. My biggest hope is that this is one continuous story in real time.
Yeah.
Like if it goes from start to finish, like you start the game and there are no cuts, there's no fast travel, there's no, like Uncharted 4 didn't really have any loading screens, and you'd kind of get a chunk of the way into that game and go, oh wait, I haven't seen a single loading screen, and that was cool, but you were still having like sort of, you know, be like, oh, Nate goes to bed, end of scene, you know.
Nate turns 16.
Right, it jumped around a bit, but like for something like this to be like, you walk out the door to go hunting with your kid, and then you go on this crazy epic fairy tale adventure, that could be insane.
Yeah. You mentioned the combat. The first 3 games, or even the 4th, I guess, they were all combat. Like, that's all it was. And it seems like they're maybe taking a little step back, allowing a little more breathing room for other game mechanics, crafting, and RPG elements.
And dialogue and narrative. I mean, I think that's the cool thing here, is that there's a very personal story between these 2 characters that we're going to learn about. And if they kill one of them, I'm going to cry. I'm really going to cry.
It's definitely a big change, though. I mean, God of War has inspired other games for having that really fast hack and slash combat. And a lot of it's really challenging as well, which is super appealing. So I wonder
va
if
stabili o relație între Kratos și fisul. Exact cum am avut în The Last of Us între Ellie și
is Insomniac's Spider-Man game. This is actually one of the most anticipated games with the IGN audience. People can't wait for this game.
Same.
Yeah?
Yeah, so excited, guys. It's going to be great. I played through Insomniac's last game, Ratchet & Clank, and the whole time I was thinking, like, I kind of wish this was a Rocket Raccoon game. And for that, I was just like, we haven't gotten a really good Marvel game in so long that's just about a superhero.
GTA cu Spider-Man.
Perfect for this. He's mechanically awesome. You know, he's effectively, you know, parkour bionic commando. We've had some great Spider-Man games in the past, and to see a wonderful studio with like a history of fantastic games under their belt tackle something so beloved is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, we talked earlier about, you know, open world games and how there's so many of them and how they can differentiate themselves from each other. The sort of movement and fluidity and verticality of Spider-Man as a character, coupled with just how gorgeous this has potential to be, I think could create an open world game that's different than anything we've ever played before. Like, this looks nuts.
It looks so good.
It just looks nuts. Yeah. That's all I can say. I just get so excited watching how fast this moves.
And I mean,
it's cool to see New Donk City again.
Yeah. If it's anything like Sunset Overdrive, which of course Insomniac made a few years back as an Xbox exclusive, it'll be really fast, and one of my favorite things about that game was that you could traverse the entire city without ever touching the ground.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that as Spider-Man.
That's exactly what I want.
Also worth noting, it's bright and colorful.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man, so he'll probably have quippy one-liners. We've had some wonderful superhero games. I mean, the Arkham games, for instance, are awesome, but they're also very brooding and dark and angry, and it would be kind of nice to have sort of a change of pace.
Yeah.
That said, I want to see what villains are in this game. I want to see Venom. I hope Carnage is here because he's weird. He's always fun.
Some of the old Spider-Man games had like gang kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You had to like take down gangs. It was very strange. They did a lot of really creative stuff. It was a ton of fun.
Quick experiment. How many Spider-Man villains can Brian name? Go.
Venom, Carnage, Black Cat, Kingpin. Who's the guy with the like leopard print?
Craven the Hunter, I think his name. Yeah. That's about. The Green Goblins.
I forgot all the obvious ones.
I would love to see Venom.
We were just talking about whether or not God of War is coming out this year. When's Spider-Man coming out?
I think next year.
Yeah, I want to say next year.
Even though there's a new Spider-Man movie this year.
They would make a ton of money to get that as close to the movie as possible, but maybe they'll be like, it's out right now.
God of War prima dată.
Well, somebody's going to say that about some
Don't
game,
get their
right?
hopes up.
It's out right now.
Even before the press conference.
Yeah, I feel like Sony's kind of got this three-card Monty going on with the games that they have in the works. There's God of War, there's Days Gone, and there's Spider-Man. And we all know everything they announced last year, basically. When's it coming out? Something has to come out this year. They have to put something out, I hope.
They didn't have a huge game for fall last year, and they still did okay.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, maybe the movie comes out this summer. Maybe they release the game this fall with the Blu-ray release.
Yeah, could be.
Around there. All right, we've got to take a quick break, but we'll talk more Sony as well as Bethesda and Red Dead Redemption 2 on IGN Live at E3 right after this.
Talking. Yeah, we're doing it.
Is the world's #1 media brand for video games and entertainment.
Ok, avem reclame, așa că voi lăsa să decurgă reclamele în timp ce pun microfonul pe mut. Se pare că este destul încet sonorul, dar nu am ce să fac, după cum se vede este la maxim. Pur și simplu așa e live-ul de la ei.
IGN's got you covered on everything you care about. IGN, the #1 source for video game fans worldwide.
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we've got your all-access pass. IGN live from San Diego Comic-Con. World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens. The biggest stars and the world's best cosplay. IGN live from Comic-Con. Coverage starts July 19th.
Two friends, one controller. IGN's Link Together turns Zelda Breath of the Wild into a co-op experience where Link is controlled by two players via splitting the Joy-Cons. Hyrule becomes a much more dangerous place, and friendships teeter on the edge. Check out Link Together Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Did you know that IGN has an app that gives you all the tools you love right in the palm of your hands? It's fast, and you can save videos and articles for later, check your personalized feed, or check out all the latest reviews. Download it now on the iOS or Android App Store.
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we've got your all-access.
Weird. Interesting.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. We've still got our EA press conference pre-show on the way, and we'll take you to the event as soon as it starts. Now, before the break, we were talking about what else we expect to see this week, specifically at Sony's briefing. Sony is aligned with Destiny 2 for marketing purposes. I think we might hear more about Destiny 2, which just had its big reveal event recently.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting. Just so close after the reveal event, after we've seen all of the story stuff, I'm excited to see what they show us.
Yeah.
I hope that we get some more looks into the new raids that we can expect with Destiny 2. Because that's something that I'm really excited about. And I always said with Destiny 1, I wish the whole game were like the raids. It seems like they're adding the things that people were missing from vanilla Destiny, which, the Taken King kind of helped to flesh out, being a lot of story-focused stuff. We're seeing a whole lot more of Nathan Fillion, which everyone's really excited about. So I actually don't know what to expect to see more of at E3, though.
You're totally right in that we just had this big reveal on all this new information for this game. E3 now feels like it's just a year long. Like we have stuff that happens right before, and then there's stuff that happens right after, and with the leaks and everything. But yeah, I think Sony would be very wise to align themselves as much as possible with this game. It's going to sell a lot, and they need to tell people this is where you need to play it.
I think that obviously with the big reveal that Bungie had for Destiny 2, it makes that's them preaching to the choir. That's them talking to the people who are already on board with Destiny 2. I think Sony's conference is a chance to be like, hey, maybe you slept on the first Destiny. Here's where you jump on if you're maybe more casual or a newcomer to the series. Might also make sense to reveal some bundle or something.
Well, yeah. I know there's some sort of content that you get if you pre-order it on PS4, so maybe they'll want to reveal exactly what that is. What do you think they need to improve on the original to address the concerns that people had with the first game?
I think one of the things that I felt was lacking was that I felt like even though there are a lot of other players, that we didn't really exist in the same space. All of the other players that were around me, at least this is for vanilla Destiny. I know the Taken King did make a lot of changes, but I felt like I was so alone in that world. And one thing that I really want, which I think that they are looking into, is kind of having a squad, like having people with you who are AI players but have banter and crosstalk and make you feel like you're sort of part of a team. And I think that'll be a really exciting way to just give that world more character and more life. I also want to see dramatically varied environments. I want to see totally different places and things that I would never expect.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want, you know, a bunch of weird Star Wars looking planets. That's it. Just cool places to go visit that are different than anywhere else. I mean, video games are escapism, so let's escape.
Well, on the opposite end of the spectrum, will Red Dead Redemption 2 be making an appearance despite it being delayed to 2018?
I think the delay is less the question mark as it is that Rockstar has historically sort of distanced themselves from E3.
Sure.
We've been proven wrong before, and our industry is full of surprises, so I wouldn't be completely amazed to see something like, oh, and we've got one more thing, exclusive stuff on PS4, and here's what it looks like. But, yeah, that would be a big showing here at E3. It's going to be the best-selling game of next year, hands down. If you could name another one, go for it, but I have a feeling you're wrong.
I don't think that we'll see it at E3 this year, but it's funny you mentioned that. There were rumors that when Shadow of War got delayed, that it was so that it could actually exist in the latter half of the year where there wasn't an open world Red Dead game.
Right.
Because that's like a good way to get trampled, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think we'll see it, though.
I think that delay made a lot of people breathe a sigh of relief, including us as gamers. You know, it sort of said, well, 2017 is a little more open for us. There won't be a 100-hour open world cowboy game at the end of it. But if you're a publisher putting out a game this fall, you're probably like...
Yeah. So going back to will we see it or not, I think we'll see something related to Red Dead. There'll be a mention of it. You know, somebody will allude to it being there's something better on PS4. I mean, they've aligned themselves with Sony. We saw with the reveal of, I think it was GTA 5 when it came to current-gen consoles, they were like, we've added better headlights and cats and first person. And you're like, what? Okay, great. And they showed this cool sizzle reel on the Sony stage. I imagine maybe something akin to that, but again, this is a brand new game completely, not something that came out last generation that they're, you know, upscaling.
Yeah. Well, when Rockstar did announce the delay, they said they'll have more news to share this summer. They didn't say at E3. So even if it isn't here this week, I think we will be seeing more Red Dead Redemption 2 soon. But what about Kingdom Hearts 3? Kingdom Hearts 3 has been in the works for a while and is one of the IGN audience's most anticipated games. Is this the year we finally get the Keyblade?
I hope so, but it's so hard to say. You know, we've seen really small chunks of Kingdom Hearts 3. And I think the gameplay looks great. Like, I'm very sold on the way that Kingdom Hearts 3 looks, but I don't know where that game is in its development cycle right now. I don't know what their marketing strategy is right now. So I kind of would have expected them to start showing it more earlier in the year if it was coming out this year.
Yeah.
I think we probably will see a little bit more at E3, but I'm expecting next year to release, or maybe even later. Hard to say.
Square Enix takes their time, you know? And they just, it seems like with Final Fantasy 15 that paid off. You know, people waited and waited, and they were delivered a product that sold well. So the message there is, you will wait and you'll deal with it, and when we're ready, and we hope you love it.
It's kind of crazy to think this is a sequel to a PS2 game. And obviously, there've been like other Kingdom Hearts games in the middle, but Kingdom Hearts 2 came out when I was in high school, I think. Like, that's kind of insane to think about. I think it's just really a double-edged sword, or Keyblade, whichever. If they show something and they don't have a release date, or they don't have it soon, it's just kind of stringing people along at this point. But if they don't show anything, then it's just disappointing. So
Disney as a company has changed dramatically since this game started development in terms of just sheer acquisitions alone. Marvel, you look at stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is now like the most popular ride at Disney. You look at Star Wars. Like, how much can all this stuff make its way into Kingdom Hearts? I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, as big Star Wars fans, having Star Wars characters in Kingdom Hearts 3, would that get you really excited?
Excited is, I would say curious. I want to see Darth Maul fight Winnie the Pooh because I'm weird. But I can head on over to DeviantArt for that.
I actually think Winnie the Pooh could be turned to the dark side.
I can see that.
I feel a little bit weird about it. You know, it's like it's not canon. It's more just like when somebody mixes up like Playmobil and Lego. It's just like it's.
I personally am totally cool with it. Throw all the Marvels into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Go for it.
Mix it all up. Well, Square Enix also recently announced that development on the Final Fantasy VII Remake is being brought in-house, and the game is still years away. Does that mean it is a no-show this year?
We have to see something. It had this big E3 debut, 2 years ago when we first heard about it? We know it's episodic, so they can at least show us part of it. The weird thing about this game is it's years away, but that doesn't even mean that the entire thing will be released years
episodic.
From now. Yeah. Right. So years from now, we might get the first piece of it, so we might be playing this game for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered if they decided against making it episodic. It's unlikely at this stage, but I mean, with the way that Hitman came out, I really liked Hitman.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was released episodic meant that a lot of people didn't play it because it didn't have that initial hype. It had like, oh, I'll wait until all the episodes are out, and then they just didn't end up playing it. So maybe they're rethinking that, and that's why they brought it in-house and are changing things?
Maybe, but then they also kind of tried to sell off Hitman.
Exactly.
So
That is true.
Even though people did like the
how does
episodic
7
format.
work episodic?
I don't know. I mean, that's the big question. There was a massive sort of backlash against that announcement when it first happened, because I think that's not what people want from an RPG. And the